Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Huskers in Enemy Territory. Today, I was going to talk about the Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff trade. My first reaction was like, "Holy crap, this is pretty crazy." I kind of like the big blockbuster trades because it just kind of means that the NFL is going to be a little crazier than in the next year. Um, And the first impression I had was it's pretty wild that the Rams will end up not having a draft pick for like our first round draft pick for like I think 7 years. That's kind of insane to me. And I think one of the guys that the Rams would have had, like, and you never know really, but apparently they could have picked Derrick Henry. Could you imagine Derrick Henry on the Rams? That'd be insane. Um, I didn't see kind of the rest of the players that was on the list that they kind of missed out on from for whatever reason. I think they traded up to get Goff, and they had to give Tennessee like a bunch of picks, and that's why they ended up getting Derrick Henry. Um, the one impression I had also was what McVay said about getting Stafford, and I found it really um, intriguing or just like kind of neat was that he's not trading to win the trade, but trading for Stafford to win a Super Bowl. I really kind of like that mindset, I think. Um, I don't know if the Vikings really have that mindset. Um, Before I touch on that, though, what I wanted to say also was right now, as it speaks, or the way it looks, it seems like Detroit might have won this trade just because of all the draft capital. And I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Jared Goff is a pretty decent quarterback. He just, I don't know, maybe the expectations of LA is just too hard on him or something. I have no idea. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's an elite quarterback. I'm not going there. But, I don't know. We'll have to see how he fares in the NFC North. But would it be kind of a shock though going from LA to Detroit? That's kind of wild, I think, too, though. So my other thought was there were supposedly um, I don't know who put it out on Twitter, but apparently the San Francisco 49ers were looking to try and get Kirk Cousins, which I'm in favor for if the draft capital is um, good. You know what I mean? Like, let's say we get something along the lines of what the Rams did for Detroit, right? And San Francisco's like, we'll give you Jimmy G, which, I mean, Jimmy G is, I don't know, kind of below Kirk Cousins. I would say he's probably in the same range as Kirk Cousins, but not as good, I would say. Um, so we get, let's say, Jimmy G, and then they give us, um, let's say, two ones. So, like, this year's one and next year's one, and maybe this year's two. I don't know. Like, whatever trade scenario um, would be a good compensation for Kirk Cousins. The one benefit I think is that we get to take Kirk Cousins' salary off of our books. Not right away, obviously, because there's some dead cap right there. I think it's like 21 or 25 million, which is kind of big. But Jimmy G's not making very much money, so we'd have the cap savings there, which would be nice. Then we kind of build around Jimmy G if that's the way we go, or we flip him and send him to New England. Maybe I don't know. Like it's hard to say what we would do in this instance. Um, but we get the draft capital, we save the money, and then hopefully, like if we're smart, we try and draft a rookie quarterback and roll our dice that way. Like I'm so tired of like getting these retreads of quarterbacks from around the league and being like, oh, let's try Kirk Cousins, or let's try Sam Bradford, or let's try Case Keenum. I mean, I get that the Vikings haven't had the best of luck in the draft with quarterbacks, but man, we really need to figure this out. Or what we need to do is get a GM that can freaking draft a quarterback. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I almost feel like Rick Spielman might be on his last leg if we don't really do what we need to do. I feel like him and Zimmer are kind of on the hot seat for next year. If we kind of suck like we did this last year, I could definitely see them both being fired, um, which sucks. I mean, I hate getting new coaches and new GMs and whatnot, but at what point do you keep these guys around? I think Zimmer will be on his eighth year. And then how long's Rick Spielman been around? Since like 2007 with the Vikings? That's insane. Like, how long do GMs usually last? Not that long. I mean, I understand that he's had a great career with the Vikings, but at the same point, he's failed with quarterbacks. I would say he's failed with the offensive linemen. He has brought in a lot of good talent to the Vikings. Don't get me wrong, but at the same point, like he's missed a lot. And I don't know. I feel like any other organization, um, you might not put up with that kind of crap. And I don't know. I'm kind of on the my last string with Rick Spielman, honestly, because I've also pointed out to some of my friends on Twitter that it seems like Rick Spielman spends money on guys that might be a little bit past their prime, and or he spends money on guys like in a position that doesn't need money to be spent on in a way. You know what I mean? So like Anthony Barr, we have Eric Kendricks. So I would pay Eric Kendricks because he's a top linebacker, but Anthony Barr, I don't really feel like he's a top linebacker. Um, Dalvin Cook, yeah, he's a great running back, but at the same time, we have a shit offensive line. So why don't we go and grab offensive linemen out in free agency if you can't figure it out in the draft and address that? I would rather have a badass offensive line before I had a badass running back. You can draft a running back like we did in the draft, and I don't know, it seems pretty easy to find a halfway decent running back. If you have a badass offensive line and you have a decent running back, he's gonna have a good game. Where if you have a shit offensive line and you have a badass running back, he might not have very good games every once in a while. You know what I mean? My other thing was with like you have Anthony Harris, yeah, and you have Harrison Smith. So you're paying two safeties like top money, and I mean, especially like this last year, Anthony Harris did not do very good whatsoever. So I don't see him coming back to the Vikings, honestly. And I'm on the point with Anthony Harris that I think he's going to try and find a new home anyway because he wants to kind of get paid. I mean, that might not be true, but I mean, I've never talked to the guy, but I just feel like he's gone. I also feel like, especially after what um, Kyle Rudolph said in the press about him deserving all of his money, I don't think so, dude. I think you're on your last leg in Minnesota, my friend. Especially with comments that you had, rookie behind you that I feel like he had just as many yards, and he also had, if not the same amount of touchdowns, more touchdowns than he did. Um, I guess that's kind of my last thought on that, and it's about at my 10-minute mark. Um, I appreciate everyone that watches my videos, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on my videos because it helps with the YouTube algorithms. And appreciate all you guys watching my videos. I probably repeated that. I don't know why I did, but I just did. And I'll try to put another video out on Wednesday. If you could, maybe in the comment section, uh, put maybe topics that you'd like to have me talk about in the upcoming videos. Uh, so hopefully I see you guys on Wednesday, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, bye.